Greetings, my peeps, and welcome to the All Things Basketball Podcast with your boy GD. In this episode, I will be doing my WNBA All Star recap, so we'll take care of that. And also, we'll go through all the teams in the second half, maneuvering and moving and shaking and all those sort of things. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Okay, guys, it's your boy GD back with the All Things Basketball with GD podcast. And guys, we had a very good All-Star weekend. I thought there's few things I did want to bring to the forefront in that regard, but we'll go through all the weekend's events and all the things that stood out and all those sort of things. You know how I do. And then we'll talk about some second half discussion as far as the teams go. So without any further delay, let's get into it. So, guys, we had the All-Star weekend starting on July 18th, but actually the 17th. That is the time where, you have the red carpet, the arrival of the players. And that's been kind of a big deal the past few years. You had the official red carpet ceremony where you have the players come in, and that's usually done by, they'll have a team of people. It's usually Jordan Robinson, Ari Chambers. They'll usually come in and talk to the players and so forth. But also then you have other ancillary figures there doing their thing. As far as that goes, you have Sid Colson and Teresa Pleasant. They used to be teammates with the Aces and, they're best buds. So they actually have their own podcast. They had an actual show that they would do as well. So very entertaining duo there. And they do a great job. But the highlight of that night was the Studbudz. And that consists of two current Minnesota Lynx players. That's Courtney Williams and her sidekick, Natisha Heidelman. And when I tell you they were the hit of the weekend, that they were. I mean, they were doing all the things. They were doing in like interviews as well, talking to folks. So they come in, they got the matching hair and all that. And what they did, they have a show on Twitch. And they went 72 hours straight of live streaming. I was like, wow, that's crazy. So they covered the entire weekend as far as that goes. And they're parlaying this, to get them some deals as far as the podcast and all those things, which you definitely want to see. You want to monetize. You want to be able to create content. I mean, they do a great job of that. And the thing about them, I think that people love their authenticity. They're very authentic in how they present themselves and how they speak to themselves and to other folks. They was able to talk to a few people there too, by the way. LaFeisha Collier, of course, and Kayla McBride, they actually rode in with them, and then they kind of separated, and then they were also able to make some contact with Brianna Jones, being a former teammate of theirs with the Connecticut Sun. Also, Ryan Howard, they spoke with Ryan Howard. Also, and I thought this was a funny one, where Sid and TP, they ran into the Studbudz, and you talk about comedy going back and forth. That was definitely a highlight there. And then also Angel Reese, they were able to talk to Angel Reese, and that was that was fun. Marina Mabry, they talked to her also. Kelsey Mitchell. I think Kelsey Mitchell surprised a lot of people when she arrived with what she had on, because that was very un-Kelsey like. But yeah, people were surprised. She looked great. But people were definitely surprised. Also, Paige Beckers, they talked to what everyone calls the league's rookie. So they were able to talk to her and cut up with her. Satu Sabali, they ran into as well. Gabby Williams, they talked to. And then I think towards the end, it was Natasha Cloud. And, they have a camaraderie. They're in the fellowship of the point guards, if you will. So they definitely had a good rapport amongst them. So with all that done, that was the Thursday night. Then also, too, you had a hubbub about them not being, well, I think that was more towards when the All Star Game was over, they tried to hit the parties and stuff, and they had a little problem with that, but that's neither here nor there. So, but Thursday was pretty much a hit. So we move on to Friday, July 18th. And that's the night where you have the skill, the different competitions. First, you had the skills contest. And that took place between Skylar Diggins of the Seattle Storm. You also had Courtney Williams that was in that. So one of the halves of the Studbudz for the Minnesota Lynx. Alicia Gray, who was the defending champ, by the way, she won both contests, that and the 3-point contest. So she was in this as well. Erica Wheeler, also from the Seattle Storm. And then Natasha Cloud from my New York Liberty. So you had that take place. You had going first, Courtney Williams, and you know her. She's about her money. So she gets out there and she does 42 seconds. So that's her showing there. So, that's the score to beat. That now that you have a set of numbers there, that's the score to beat. Then after her went Natasha Cloud, and she did a 34.1. So that was the best time as of yet. So Natasha Cloud, she's carved herself a place for the finals. Then going after her was Skylar Diggins, who had a 44.3. So that kind of puts her out the running. And then next was Erica Wheeler, who did very well. I was surprised. She has cat-like quickness. And she did a 36.5. And then lastly was Alicia Gray. I thought she was going to give a run for the money, but she came a few seconds short, guys, with a 39.4. So this sets the stage for a duel between Natasha Cloud and Erica Wheeler. So in your final, going first was Erica Wheeler, and she posted a nice time. She did 37.5 seconds. And in this, I should have explained it earlier. You have 3 bounce passes you do. Then you go, you hit a 3-pointer. Then from there, you go and dribble the ball, chest pass, and then a layup. So all that within that certain time. So like I said, she had 37.5, and then Natasha Cloud, knowing that's the time she had to beat, and she beat it by a second, a little more than a second, because she posted a 36.4. Thus, Natasha Cloud for the Liberty wins the skills competition, the trophy, and the money that's involved. So, And then she celebrates. She celebrates with her partner there, Isabel Harrison, and that's a joyous moment. So there you go. So that's one half of the contest. Good, the contests. Then you have the 3-point contest, which is seem like it's the pride of both the NBA and the WNBA, because that's the one where you have to show your skill. I mean, you really have to show, you're able to sink those shots. So in your first round, you have 5 players. Initially, Caitlin was supposed to be a part of this, but that wasn't to be. You have Sonia Centrone, the rookie from the Washington Mystics, and as Caitlin's replacement, her teammate, Lexi Hall. You also have Kelsey Plum over there for the LA Sparks, Alicia Gray, defending champion for the Atlanta Dream, and then Sabrina Ionescu of my New York Liberty. So you got some heavy hitters there, guys. So going first was Kelsey Plum, who had finished with a score of 22, which is, that's a decent score. That's a decent score. So she kind of sets the bar high. Then after her is the rookie, Sonia Citron, who admittedly she was very nervous. Sabrina had to kind of calm her and, be a guide to her, being that Sabrina's a veteran of this contest. And she scores a 19, which leads Sabrina Ionescu to tell Sonia that if she finishes in first place, she'll split the prize money with her. So Sabrina's got some pressure on her. So going after her was Lexi Hall. Lexi Hall scored a 20, so that's a respectable score in this contest. It's respectable. But then you got the 2 heavy hitters there. Sabrina Ionescu goes next, and in Ionescu's style, she posts a 25. So you now have a top score there. So this knocks everybody else out and now puts pressure on the defending champ, Alicia Gray, who goes last. And she matches Sabrina with a 25. I was like, okay, now we got a contest here. So there you go with that. Now, being that they tied, they give the advantage to Alicia Gray because she won it the previous year. So Sabrina Ionescu goes first. And she goes on a Sabrina-like run where she hits 11 in a row. Everybody thought, oh, man, she's going to do what she did 2 years ago when she had a magnificent performance in the 3-point contest. But that wasn't to be. But she did end up with a score of 30. So now the bar is set high, guys, for Alicia Gray. Alicia Gray, she had a kind of a nice start, and then it got rocky towards the end. And you could tell after a while, let the celebration begin, guys. Sabrina Ionescu, the 3-point contest champion. So she wins it, guys. So, which means she gets the trophy and she gets that prize money. And as she said, she was true to her word, guys. She said it when she was interviewed afterwards that she's going to give half her winnings to Sonia Centrone and the other half to her foundation, the Sabrina Ionescu Foundation. She runs it out of New York, of course, being that she's plays here. And I tell you what, Sabrina's a real one. She is a real one because she holds true to her word. And plus, she got that Nike money from her shoe deal. So she's good to go. So she said, you know what? let me stay true to what I say. So there you go. So major props to Sabrina Ionescu. Major props to Natasha Cloud. So Friday night belonged to the New York Liberty. Beautiful. So, but earlier in that day, guys, and it's going to correlate as we talk about the All Star Game, about 40 of the players sat in on the CBA negotiations that they were having with the league. In attendance, you have your heavy hitters, you have Nafisha Collier, you have Brianna Stewart. Of course, they're the co-founders of the Unrivaled League, so they have a lot at stake there. Also, there was Nneka Onwumike, who's the player president as far as the union goes. Satu Sabali, she was there as well. Caitlin Clark was in attendance for it as well. She said it was a good experience to be in there in the room. And also Angel Reese was there also. So you had a good showing of players there and camaraderie, Kelsey Plum and all the others. So it's good to see. There's an old saying that goes, there's strength in numbers. So it was good to see all those players in there during the negotiations. So there you have that. All right, let's talk about the game itself, guys. Saturday night, July 20th. And this year I didn't attend, guys. So, I said I'll sit this one out. But it was in Indianapolis. So, Caitlin Clark, she had to be the woman about town, doing all the things, as well as her teammates. Also, too, you had legends like Tamika Catchings. You know her. She's one of my favorite players of all time. So she was the belle of the ball, so to speak, doing all the stuff around town. And I'm sure there was a Legends brunch that took place. That one I enjoyed when I went last year. So, so you had all those different things going on prior to the game. Now, the game itself, of course, you had Team Collier versus Team Clark. Nafisha Collier and then Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark did not play in this game, guys. They had deemed it so that she would not play because of that groin injury that she's dealing with. So the Indiana Fever are doing the smart, prudent thing and not having her take part in this. And that, that's the wise thing to do. So she was still, her face was very visible throughout the weekend. And during the game, she was on the sideline there with the coaches, with Sandy Brondello and her staff. So it wasn't as if her name was on the team and she wasn't around. She was there. So with that said, guys, the game itself. Of course, you had your starters for the Team Clark because they had to replace a few players. Satu Sabali was one of them they had to replace. They also had to replace. There was one other player they had to replace. It's blanking on me right now. But yeah, so your starters ended up being Asia Wilson. She was your starter there. Kelsey Mitchell was a starter as well. And then, of course, Aaliyah Boston. You had her there. And also, too, I believe they had Brittany Sykes and also Jackie Young. Yeah. So So you had some familiarity there. And then for Team Fee, of course, you're going to have Fee, Brianna Stewart there, Alicia Gray, Aneka Owumake. Oh, and Sabrina, that's who was a starter over there for Team Clark. So, like I said, Stewart, Fee, Aneka, Alicia Gray. Those were your starters as far as that goes. So, with that said, guys, you have your game. And the game was high scoring, guys. By the time the first quarter ended, the score was 49-36. I was like, whoa, that's a lot of points there. And then at halftime, oh, by the way, it was Team Fee that was up. And then once you came to the halftime, it was 82-60, Team Collier. So there you go there. And then in the second half, kind of more of the same, the scoring, all the things. And then when all was said and done, your final score was 151-131. You had moments in the game. You had where Asia Wilson, who didn't play a whole lot in the game, but where she was getting fouled, and Kelsey Plum, a former teammate, pretty much rolled her, had her arms around her for extended time. So you had that. But, nonetheless, it turned out good. So there you have that. Yeah. So, your stats as far as that goes, this is how it shook out, guys. You had LaFeisha Collier lead the way for Team Fee, 36 points, which, by the way, that was a record for the All Star Game, 36 points. And she was very efficient, 13 of 16 from the field, along with 9 rebounds. Also, you had Alicia Gray. She had 18 points. Neka Owumake, very efficient as well. She only missed 1 shot, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Kelsey Plum had a nice game coming off the bench, 16 points for her, along with 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Caleb McBride, 15 points, 3 rebounds. C-Dub, Courtney Williams, she had 13 points, 5 assists. Skylar Dickens with the first triple-double ever in a WNBA All Star Game with 11 points, 15 assists, and 10 rebounds. So record-breaking performances all around for Team Collier, coached by Cheryl Reeves, by the way. Brianna Stewart, quiet with 8 points, 4 rebounds. Angel Reese coming off the bench. She had 9 rebounds, guys, only 6 points. And Alyssa Thomas, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists for her. So quiet game for her as well. For Team Caitlin, Kelsey Mitchell led the way with 20 points, with 2 steals. Kiki Ariafin with a double-double in this. So she's the second rookie to do so. Of course, Angel Reese did that in the last All-Star Game. 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 steals. Gabby Williams with a nice game, 16 points, 5 assists. Brittany Sykes with a nice game, 16 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds. Kayla Thornton for the Valkyrie, 15 points, 11 rebounds coming off the bench with 5 assists. Sabrina Ionescu, 12 points. She got hot early in this. I thought she was going to be on a heater, but not so much. 12 points with 7 assists. Brianna Jones with a nice and tidy 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Sonia Centron with 11 points, so she had a nice game for her first time out. And then Aja Wilson, like I said, she didn't play much, 4 points. And then Jackie Young, who started, she played only a minute of time because she's dealing with an injury, and she had 0 points. Your MVP, I thought you could have had a toss-up, guys, with Skylar Diggins getting the first triple-double and Laphia Collier getting the scoring record. I thought you can go, you could definitely go Laphia Collier. You could have did a split as far as that goes, but it goes to Laphia Collier. So she wins the MVP for the All Star Game. So there you have it. Now, the big to-do in this game was the players coming out with the shirts, pay us what you owe us. And that sparked a lot of debate, a lot of talking heads to get to running their mouths. And of course, on social media, you have the keyboard accountants who want to say, oh, the league, this and that, they're not making the money, this and that. So, and I want to find this sound that I have, and it's from a good buddy of mine. Jamel Hill. Just a little history with Jamel Hill. I went to a book signing of hers a few years back. Wonderful, wonderful spirit about her and so forth. Yeah, and she was just, I tell you. Okay, no, that's not it. It's politics. Give me 1 second, guys. And I don't think I have it. The one that I'm looking for as far as that goes. But yeah, I have some other sound from her. But anyhow, so, it led a lot of people running off at the mouth. And here's the question that I will throw out there. Are they making money hand over fist, the league itself? I would say probably not. But you have to put things in perspective. They've been at this for 28 years now. Let's measure that against other leagues that's been in their 28th year. NFL, were they making money like that in their 28th year? No. Was the NBA making money like that in their 28th year? And that would put it around 1974, 75. No, they were on tape delay, guys. You didn't even see a live NBA finals. And they didn't have the proliferation of games that you see now. So, and even with that, they were paying players big time money. You had your Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at the time. He was with the Milwaukee Bucks. He was making a ton of money, breaking records and all those things. So you have to put these things in a perspective, guys. And, everybody, oh, the NBA is holding them up and this and that. Talking this nonsense. So here's what I'll say with that. If they're losing money, and it's funny how they always come up with these numbers right around negotiating times. They'll do it with the NBA. They'll do it with other leagues. Oh, but we're losing this kind of money. They've done it with baseball. I've seen that. It's funny how they come and tell you, oh, we're losing all this money. But open the books up. Open the books up, guys, and let people see what's really going on. Don't just go to your favorite media source and tell them, oh, we're losing this and that, and then it becomes major news and everybody's reporting on it like that. And then here's what I'll ask. If the league is losing all this money that y'all say it's losing, two questions. Why would a league expand if it's losing this kind of money? That's number one. And number two, if you're one of these owners of these expansion teams coming in, why would you want to buy into a league that's losing money like this? So those are the two questions I always throw out there, and I never get a straight answer. Never. So the league is on the way up, guys. You had the popularity. Obviously, Caitlin Clark, everywhere she goes, it's a sellout. So you have that. You have other players as well, getting their shine. Paige Beckers, Angel Reese. You have them there. You have what the Liberty's doing over there in New York. I see it when I go to the games. The place is packed out. You see it in Vegas with how they're packed out over there. The Gold State Valkyrie, they're crushing it as far as attendance goes. So you have Minnesota, they're coming out there for their team as well. So you have places where the buzz is really growing, and that's helping the league. So I'm of the mindset that the team is on the come up. It's on the come up. So if you want in, get in now while it's on the come up. And as I say, support. People want to kill women for, as a whole, not supporting the league, which is fair criticism. So I say, and then also too, let's clear it up right now. They do not want to be paid like NBA players. Let's get that crystal clear. Their revenue take is only 9%. Think about that, guys. The NBA is 50-50. And if you want to take it to another place, you have also the UFC with the powers that be over there. They're giving their players an 18% take, and everybody's hair is on fire about that. So think about the fact that the WNBA is getting the lowest revenue take of any league that's out there. So if you were to meet them, come up to maybe 20%, I think that's a fair start. If you will come up to 20% at least, maybe 25. But for them to be at 9 and that's it, that is absurd. So that's all I'm saying with that. As far as pay us what they owe us, a lot of people want to critique them for saying that. I don't. So there you have that. And then also too, the big to-do was something Kelsey Plum said at post-game press conference about the T-shirts and them wearing them. And I'm going to play for you what she said, what was said, and then Jamel's Hill take on it. So I'm going to play that for you guys. Give me 1 second to find it. I just had it before. Yes, I'm going to have it here. Yeah. No, that's not it. Go back. Okay.
The headline, Kelsey Plum shades Caitlin Clark during the WNBA All Star post-game press conference after she was asked about the players wearing the Pay Us What You Owe Us t-shirts that caused quite a stir.
That was a very powerful moment. We didn't, at least as players, we didn't know that was going to happen. So I think it was kind of like a genuine surprise, but the t-shirt, just United front was determined this morning. That we had a meeting for, and not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that. But no, we were just we had a very not really needed to be mentioned. I'm trying to make a situation light. Okay,
the spin. This is just another example of the persistent jealousy Caitlin Clark faces in the WNBA. The truth, people really have lost their rabbit-ass minds. I mean, all it took is a couple of blogs to characterize that benign interaction as an example of Caitlin Clark being shaded. And next thing you know, across social media and even in mainstream media, we are once again back to this dumb, uninformed, lazy narrative that WNBA players hate Caitlin Clark. First, Kelsey Plum said Team Clark, as in Caitlin Clark's entire team. The All-Star teams were named after their captains, Nafisa Collier and Caitlin Clark, because they were the top 2 leading vote getters. Kelsey was joking about the fact that members of Team Clark, of which Sabrina Ionescu, who is seated right next to her, is a member of her team, were hanging out and partying the night before. That's why Team Clark missed the morning meeting. You hear that other sound when Kelsey was talking? It's called laughter, which is what her and Sabrina were doing when she said it. It was a freaking joke. If there is any bubbling animosity toward Caitlin Clark, the media is to blame because they simply cannot resist any opportunity to turn Caitlin Clark into a damsel in distress. It's weird, and it's giving stage 5 clinger.
So that was Jamel Hill, and she played the sound that Kelsey Plum said about Team Clark not being there when the decision was made to wear those Pay Us What You Owe Us t-shirts. And bravo, Jamel Hill, bravo. I thought you broke it down brilliantly. It was a joke. And this is not the first time Kelsey Plum has made a joke that didn't land well. She's done it many times before, and she's made statements that hasn't landed well. In fact, I'll tell you, when they played the Liberty in the WNBA Finals 2 years back, when they beat them, they said, well, she said a lot of things about the Liberty. Oh, this team mushed together. There's no chemistry. They hardly know each other, as opposed to the Las Vegas Aces, who, they call them a super team, but a lot of those players were drafted. So she's had a statement like that after they beat the Liberty. So, to the victor goes the spoils. I remember her making that comment. So I'm like, yeah, Kelsey, she has a habit of putting a foot in her mouth when it comes to these sort of things. And then also, too, this is what probably adds the fuel to the fire. She was in warm-ups and I think she was probably before the game started. There was people on the front row, and they wanted to grab a picture with her. One of them had on a Caitlin Clark shirt. She throws the woman a Los Angeles Sparks shirt and tells her to put that on over that if she wants to take a picture with her. And everybody went crazy over that. Like, oh, see, this is why Kelsey Plum hates Caitlin Clark and this and that. So you add that log onto the fire of that statement you just heard, and that's why you get this nonsense that, oh, this is more proof that the players hate Caitlin, especially Kelsey Plum. It, like Jamel said, it was a joke. It was an ill-timed joke. It was a bad place joke. And nowadays with these media people here, They're looking for that red meat. They're looking for that thing that they could cling on to and say, yeah, see that? The players hate Caitlin Clark. Come on, man. Again, we don't have honest brokers covering the WNBA. They want to see the league itself see its demise. I've said that on many occasions, guys. They want to see this league go down because of the team's social consciousness when it comes to world issues in this country. They don't want to see this league prosper. And also too, because you have women being with women and so forth. You have that kind of animus too of people who don't like that presentation. So it's a myriad of things that people don't like about the league. Those two being probably at the top of the list. And then you add on top of it, the league is picking on Caitlin Clark. And so the league needs to disband. Or the better one I always hear, oh, Caitlin needs to start her own league. I'm like, what? So, yeah. So that all I'm going to say with that is nonsense. It's plain nonsense. And it's a tired narrative at this point. It's tired, it's weak, and it does nothing to help the growth of the league or anything else. There's a saying, bad plus publicity is good publicity. I think in this instance, probably not. So there you go with that. All right, so I was going to do some second half news, but this went long enough. But I thank you for listening. As always, all things basketball with gd.com is the website. There, episodes, clips, all the things. Donate, guys. Donate to the show. My donate buttons are there. PayPal, buy me a coffee. Spotify, donate. That's all there on the website, guys. My Cash App, I always have it in the scroll, guys. GD, that's Sports Dude. $ GD, that's Sports Dude. That is the place where you can give to the show, guys. Give to the show. Also, social media. I'm on all the platforms. Well, not all the platforms. Podcast platforms, I'm on all of those. YouTube, I'm there. LinkedIn, I'll give you a link to the full episode there. Also, as far as social media, TikTok, Instagram, some Facebook, some Blue Sky. That's really it. Thank you guys for listening. As always, your listenership is so important to this show. And again, I'll bring you the second half, but I got some things I got to attend to today. I got a podcast festival or summer social I got to be at. And then I have a high school reunion to be at. I won't tell you the years, but it's a milestone. Let's just put it that way. So my face will be in the place for that. So busy weekend ahead for me. I've had to put this episode out. So thank you for listening. As always, we'll talk soon. Take care.